video like this.
You begin.
My name is Aaron Cairo, and I'm a unsponsored vert skater from the San Francisco Bay Area. And today, we are here with the entire 187 Killer Pads team! It's like more people than we've had in the Braille House for a very long time. 187 Killer Pads and AAA and world-famous skateboard professional Andy McDonald. And this is the moment I hate it, because I have to learn a new trick. So Andy's been asking me, okay, you're learning to skate vert, where are you at? What did you learn? So let me see if I did backside slash first, drop in, backside slash, and then, what was the trick I learned after that? Tail tap.
Fakey tail tap.
Yeah, fakey tail tap. Okay. And we've progressed that into what we would call a tail stall. Yeah. And then a frontside slash, which is literally the scariest thing ever. I think it took me 2 straight hours of
it's harder to go frontside than backside.
Yeah.
Like when you're learning, like to commit to opening your shoulders and looking over your shoulder to do frontside.
You're supposed to look over your
harder.
shoulder. Thanks for telling me, Rick. But yeah, it feels like you're falling backwards off a
You're
cliff.
gonna fall on your back.
Yeah.
But skateboarding is like gymnastics, or vert skating is like gymnastics in that sense. In that wherever you look, your body's gonna follow. So if you're doing a backflip and you try and do a backflip like this, you're not gonna do it. You have to look, and then your body will flip. So if you're doing a frontside kick turn, you want to turn that way. You have to look, open your shoulders, and look that way.
Yeah.
To turn that way. If you're trying to do a frontside kick turn and do this, it's not gonna work for you.
Right. Yeah, I need to rewatch that video now and see what was happening. For anybody that does not know who you are, tell them, like, you've been skateboarding for
30 plus years. I'm old. Skated in every single X Games that there's been, with the exception of last year. I didn't go last year. And yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. 10 world championships and more X Games medals than any other skater. It's mostly from the half pipe, but I have a couple street silver medals.
Yeah, sick.
From doing, like, back when street courses were like vert ramps cut into pieces, doing backflips over the jump box. that was street skating.
Yeah, right?
Then, but,
so you went through the whole progression of like vert skating being really, really huge, and then street skating coming in. But we started a new movement here. You want to know what it's called?
What is it?
Horizontal is dead.
Oh yeah? Horizontal is dead.
You know? People say vert is dead. No. You know what's dead? Horizontal is dead. Vert is alive. Vert is very much alive. Horizontal is dead.
I gotta just say, it's inspiring for me as a vert skater. Like that's my passion. Like I skateboard everything, because if you skate everything, you become a better skater overall. Like if I'm skating handrails and flat ground, it's gonna make me a better skater ultimately on the vert ramp or in a backyard pool. Like you don't just listen to one kind of music. You're like, oh, I only listen to jazz. And I hear skaters say that all the time. Like, I just skate ledges, bro. I'm like, but you're a skateboarder. Like, learn to skate everything and you'll become a better skateboarder. So it's inspiring for me to see the Braille top heavy dudes right here. Like, this is the Braille brass. And they're like, hey man, skate everything. And I'm gonna learn how. If I don't know, I'm gonna learn how and ultimately become a better skateboarder. So good for you guys.
Yeah, and going from just total street skating to the vert ramp, it is way different. And like that feeling when you're actually on the vert and there's that feeling of weightlessness, it just freaks me out. Like, no, everyone
There's no other feeling. There's
Yeah.
no other feeling like that.
It's great, but it's super scary. Yeah, so then the next trick that I learned was a fakie ollie.
And rock
also
fakie, rock roll.
very, very scary. And then I did like a little board slide. Oh, rock to fakie,
Rock
which
fakie,
is
yeah,
one
rock
that.
fakie board
So
slide.
rock fakie's kind of like my jam.
Okay.
It'll take me a few goes here. I'm gonna bail a few. Oh, and then I did a rock and roll, but like not a good.
Backside rock and roll. Like half the board.
Yeah.
They call them a phantom rock.
Yeah.
Phantom rock. And eventually you'll get your board all the way up in a proper decked rock and roll. But that's the next level.
And you dropped the bang, a kickflip, like pretty much at the top.
But that's what I feel like. That's like a street skater. Like, oh, you see the street skaters and they're like, they do like kick flip, switch flip, but
yeah, but that's what I'm talking about, is because like that's when the worlds collide and you see, guys like Renton Miller has done kickflip late shove it. Like 20 years ago he did that trick on a vert ramp. It's not because he didn't know how to do that on street. Like he learned it on street for sure first, you know? And then he took it to the vert ramp. But he's known as a vert skater. But he could do 360 flip 5-0 grinds, and like he was just used to doing that street style skateboarding. But he was a vert skater. True.
Yeah, and I feel like the street skaters are like, we don't like vert. That's not what we're into. You're lying. Because if you see somebody do a backside air, you cannot tell me you do not wish you could do that. So that for us, that's like the dream. Okay, so then the other thing I did is like an early grab backside air. But it was maybe like an inch, maybe 2 inches above the coping early grab. So we're both like, we really, really want a backside air. We're not quite sure that we're there yet.
Well, here's like that feeling of weightlessness you're talking about, that like it's really scary but really cool at the same time. Once you start getting into airs, there's this split second when you do it any air. It could be a 4-inch high air or it could be a 6-foot high air where you're no longer going up and you haven't started coming down, and it's just this weightless, it's just a split second, but it's just this weightless feeling that's like the best feeling in the world. And really, you don't find it anywhere else in skateboarding. Like you can jump down the biggest flight of stairs, it's just a falling feeling.
Right.
Whereas on a ramp or in a pool, when you ride up the transition, you're going against gravity, you're defying gravity.
Yeah.
And for a second, you're just floating. And it's the most addicting and funnest feeling in skateboarding. And you can appreciate it when you watch like a guy like Lincoln Ueda skate, where he's just like, it looks like he's just flying around and like,
Floating through
yeah,
the
it's just like, and it becomes all one motion, all one fluid trick. And it's just like the best feeling.
I feel like that's the part mentally every time that I freak out. Like I go up and I start to get that feeling and I just want to go like this. Ah! You'll see.
We're gonna overcome the freak out, and he's gonna learn airs.
I'm super scared to skate in front of any of these guys today. We're going. I'm gonna be crying. Half an hour from now, we'll be crying the whole time. All right, I guess we just get started. Ricky and I will both try and learn something. But here's the question: how do you warm up?
These days, I don't really have time to warm up. Seriously, I have three kids at home, like all homeschooling because of COVID and everything. So when I get to skate, I just go and mentally I drop in like I've been skating for an hour.
So how should I warm up? Skate the street?
You don't have to walk right up the stairs and drop in. Like to take some pumps and just like do some kick turns and just like some cess slides. And cess slide, you know what a cess slide is? Yeah. You've probably done it like when you do a kick turn on the vert wall, and you don't take your wheels off the wall. Instead of like doing a proper kick turn, you just kind of like unweight.
Oh yeah. Okay.
On a vert ramp, they call them a cess slide. I don't know why.
I always thought 50-50 grind, it's like 50-50, that's what I thought. And only recently I was watching your thing with Tony Hawk where he's like, yeah, it's because you're halfway out of the ramp, half in the ramp. I didn't know that. I always thought it was...
No way that's why it's called that. But then a 5-0.
That's why I was confused. I'm like, well, why is it 5-0? Because I always just assumed it was the trucks, you know?
My whole life has been a lie. I gotta break these bad boys in. Whoa! Wow, that's more slippery than I remember. You think the white slide's better? Man, probably shouldn't have done that. I probably should have kept them fresh.
That's the first thing you learn on a vert ramp. Learning how to fall, learning how to bail is the most important thing on a vert ramp. And once you do that, you can kind of get yourself out of anything you get yourself into. So he already knows how to do that.
Yeah.
Good for you. But do you know how to do this one?
I don't got that.
No, you don't have to be on the pads. Forward roll.
I feel like vomiting after that.
Oh, look! Oh! Look what happened. That was fun.
High 4.
Yeah.
High 3. Low 2. 1. 0.
I was living right there.
I know, I'm nervous too. Whose idea was it to have Andy Mack come? This is making me so scared. Yeah!
This is intense. What are you gonna do, Aaron?
I don't know.
This is our moment, you know? We've been training all these weeks. Now we gotta impress them. We gotta get sponsored.
We never got our
We gotta get
sponsor tape
sponsored.
ready. We got nothing.
Hey, we're back in the old school. This is how you get sponsored. You go to the event and you impress them at the event. No recording.
This is Tony
At
Hawk's
the event.
Underground.
Yeah, this is we're unlocking the challenge. We got this.
I need Andy Mack to see my first trick. Where'd he go?
Aaron, what are you gonna learn, man?
McTwist. I'm just throwing the McTwist today. We're just going out. All right, Andy, this is my first trick. Man, I'm a nervous. What's that?
That's a little layback sesh slide. That's like you didn't even know the name of it, and you're already doing tricks, and you don't even know they got names. That's like a little layback sesh slide. Come on, show us some sesh slides. This is the warm up. This is the warm up session.
All right, I'll do my like warm-up run.
are nervous, Rick.
I am nervous.
Have you done the reverse of that?
Which one?
A rock fakie and then a fakie rock?
No, I haven't done that. I haven't done fakie
I
rock.
think that's actually easier.
You think so?
I
Yeah,
think
that's
just
just
because when you
saying.
because the scary part about a rock fakie is that you're coming in backwards,
Yeah.
right? Like it's like doing a blunt fakie or whatever.
Yeah.
And when you do a nose blunt, it's like a little you're coming in forward, so it's a little easier. You gotta have foot placement so that you know you can step on your nose to get your truck off or whatever. But once you get on it, like once you figure out to like fakie ollie and like land on it, to like actually stand on your nose and come in, I feel like is about the same skill level, but less scary than standing on your tail and going, oh, I'm gonna fall in
What I
backwards.
found hard of switch rock is that you got to do the first rock to fakie with in mind that I don't want to set my feet up in the bottom that much.
Yeah.
So I think in mind, all right, I'm gonna do one.
I gotta get warmed up before we're claiming any tricks.
We're warming up.
Yeah, I gotta get warmed up for sure.
Warming up.
So that
warming
first
up, yeah.
rock to fakie, man. Should I just go for it?
Yeah.
Mini ramp first? No.
Aaron hasn't skated red in maybe like a week, maybe even a little bit over a week. So what he usually does is to do the first rock to fakie, he's a bit scared, and then after that he feels a bit better, you know?
Sounds about right. So I noticed you're not going frontside yet.
Yeah, see?
Scarier.
Yeah.
Don't worry about getting to the top though. Don't you? Just because you do a frontside doesn't
Should
mean
I do
you're
some
like,
frontside turns?
Yeah, do some frontside turns, just like you were doing on backside. Like once you get high enough, you can start to get your wheels free and kind of power slide it a little bit. Or do that one where in a pool, it's called a frontside icky. I don't know why, but it's called a frontside icky. You put your hand on the coping and you do a frontside kick turn, and you can kind of like let your board slide a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like my front slash is better than my back slash, but I only did one, and I was like, I'm out.
Don't worry about getting the slash grind. Just do some frontside kick turns so you're like used to going both ways.
All right, we gotta rock the fakie.
So everybody's got like a warm-up run eventually. You just figured out, and for a long time I had like a kind of a superstitious warm-up run when I came to a new ramp, new demo, and I did it here last night. Anytime I got to a new ramp, okay, this is how I have to like get in the mindset of like, okay, I get used to this transition, and usually, you know, in a demo, like you're dropping in and there's thousands of people there like, okay, do it like I saw you do it in the video, and you're like, I just gotta like do a rock and roll and make sure I know how the ramp is. So this is my like demo warm-up line that I would always do. And then like kind of from there, take it in. Take
What
it
I've
into whatever.
seen is the first 3 tricks we have actually done. He did a board slide rock to fakie, I do the fakie ollie, and we do the front side slash, and then you do the front button. I'm like, oh, well, we're at it.
JD hasn't even done that.
Rock fakie, it's time.
Just straight into it like that. Why is it so dark up here? I wasn't deep enough.
Yeah, you'll get more speed and be able to like sit up on it a little bit more if you get actually halfway on your board.
That was a bit sketch.
Vert skater Aaron Cairo, huh?
I know, right? I might have to learn something with y'all.
Well done.
That scared me.
Good rock the fakie.
First try today.
Yeah, first try.
Even before we skated, you were like, it's gonna take me a couple tries, and then you did the first 2 you tried.
Well, the earlier one when I rode up and jumped off, that was my like, I'm getting in the mindset of like, I can bail this. You wanna get it, JD? Go ahead.
Hell no.
How you feeling about a fakie hang-up?
Does not sound like super fun.
Like a fakie disaster, fakie hang-up, or like a rock,
Yeah, I think we
fakie,
probably-
fakie rock, whatever.
Well, is fakie ollie easier than that?
In some ways, it's a timing thing. If you can get the timing, like, remember when you were learning tail taps and you had to like learn, like, okay, I'm almost to the vert, and then like sometimes you do it too soon and you get denied, or fakie ollies are like that. If you get the timing right, they're easy. With a fakie hang-up, the timing is really, you can like, anywhere in there. But I'll take whatever you're feeling, dude. I just want you to learn a trick today.
Dang it! Well, we'll do a couple more runs. I'm thinking early grab backside. I'm not sure if backside air is easier for me than the fakie hang-up. Let's try.
Hey, you're a vert skater. You can do everything.
That's true. You know?
You got it.
So when I was first learning airs, that's how I did airs. Like that's how it feels the most secure to like reach down for your board and then pull it up. You're basically like doing bunny hops, right?
Yeah.
In order to get to that next level and start to keep your speed and do back-to-back airs and like pump using the ramp, it's my opinion that learning airs grabbing in front of your foot rather than behind your foot is the way to go, because now you're letting the ramp do the work for you rather than you reaching down. So you can pump as hard as you want.
Explain why.
So okay, because this is where if you watch a guy that does really high airs, right? It's because they use the ramp to the whole ramp to their advantage. When they land at the top of the ramp, not only do they land with their wheels right under the coping, but they land all the way scrunched up, so that they can extend all the way down the transition, right? And the way that you generally do that is you learn grabbing in front of your foot, so that when you take off, you can push your tail out over the deck, and you use that kind of as a cantilever over the deck, so that when you pull your knees back in, you can precisely place it right under the deck. And it's much harder to do that when you're grabbing behind your foot. And the reason why to grab late is because you can pump as hard as you want. As soon as you reach down, you've stopped pumping.
down.
Right, you're slowing yourself down. You always limit yourself if you're grabbing early. Early grabs, you can only do early grab airs a certain height.
Yeah.
No matter how fast you're going, once you grab early, you've stopped pumping and you're slowing yourself down when you're like, that's when you were working on them last night. Yeah. I was like, you start your pump and you know how you over exaggerate and you can use your arms too, right? Yeah. So when you start to learn backside airs grabbing in front of your foot, you use your pump as part of the motion of getting into your backside air. Just like when you're doing backside kick turns and you're grabbing your nose, like that's the first part about when I teach kids airs, I'm like, learn backside kick turns and reach down and grab your nose and make that part of your pump. So pump up, grab your nose, even if you're not getting in the air, because remember, when you're on the top part of the vert ramp, on this ramp, there's 16 inches of vert.
Yeah.
When you're on the vert, you're weightless. So you might as well be in the air. There's nothing holding you to the ramp. So if you're doing a backside kick turn and you're on vert on that top 16 inches, an air is just lifting your back knee up to your chest a little bit. Your front foot's already in the air, right? You're just lifting your back knee to your chest a little bit and you're in the air. That's doing an air. And technically, you don't have to be out the top of the ramp to do that air. You can be doing an air anywhere in the top foot and a half of this ramp, and that's the air. Okay. And if you can get used to that, it feels like much lighter on your back foot because you're not grabbing behind your foot. Like that's the most secure grab, right? Yeah. And it takes some getting used to because your back foot will feel all light. Yeah. But it's still an air, even if you're only that far off the vert.
Right.
You know? And then once you can land that and pump it, then you can start to go above. But kick turns like this. So you're just doing kick turns?
Yeah,
Grabbing,
even that.
and then you just lift up.
What the heck?
Lift up your back foot a little bit. You don't even have to go out the top. But eventually you will go out the top. So it's very much like kick turn that you're already doing and then just like unweighting so that you're getting your wheels off the ramp. There's no ollie, there's no like pulling up. It's just like you're letting the ramp do all the work for you. You're already in the air, you're already weightless.
He made me feel like I
Attainable,
could do
very
that.
attainable.
Yeah.
Should we give it a wang dang?
Yeah, give it a wang danga.
All right, let me I'll do a frontside air just to feel in the air, and then I'll
Just to feel in the air, this guy. Grabbing the nose, man.
Don't worry about going out the top. Just get the feeling of like unweighting your back leg and bringing your back knee to your chest a little bit.
I like to do my nose grab on the drop in.
That first one you did on that wall was it. I was like, yeah, like that. Yeah, do it on that wall, and if you get a good landing, get a good pump, do it a little bit higher on this wall, and the next thing you'll know, you'll be out.
This is so much different than the JD explanation. JD, give us your advice.
Go faster and higher.
Yeah, literally anything we're trying. He says, JD, what do we do? He says, go faster. And then I told Andy, and he's like, that's really good advice.
I was just gonna say this. He's not wrong.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh yeah. Watch yourself down there, Andrew.
I would have not tried to hold on to that.
Should we just go full wang danga?
Yeah.
I mean, all right.
Yeah.
I just gotta keep doing that.
Yeah.
First board pass doubles, dude. We gotta do it to board pass doubles.
Oh yeah, Aaron.
That last one right here, not the one you jumped off, the one before, and you're that far off the wall, that's an air. And that's legit air, and you did it, 8 inches below the coping. You could do it 8 inches above the coping, it would feel the exact same. Now it's just doing that and like getting used to that feeling, it'll feel the exact same, and you'll be doing airs out.
Okay, let's run it. Should I go for it?
You're looking good out there, honestly.
You think so?
You're looking really comfortable today.
healthy living right there.
Next one.
Not quite.
All right, well, I feel like I need to lift my back up more.
You're so close. You already did one under the coping.
That's a run right there.
All right, that was really good.
Easy build.
Easy build.
Little man's advice at this point is like right on. Go fast, go high, right? I just didn't want you to start there because then you're just starting trying to like throw your board up. But now you guys both have the feeling of like, this is what it's gonna feel like when I get out the top. So now, go for it. Go faster and get out the top.
So there's a certain thing I have to do whenever I learn a new trick. It's the same run. Let's see if I can get it. First try right here. Gabe, what do I get for first try?
I will buy you a large Jamba Juice
Large.
every weekend for the next month.
Every weekend!
That's looking good.
That works for me. That's a sick run.
Hippie air. You got it, Rick, guys. You got it.
Get that tail up, Rick.
Right here, right here.
Lift it up.
Yes, Ricky!
You got it, big boss.
Learn a new trick, dude. Both of you guys. Backside
thank you
airs.
so
Like,
much.
it's a little bit anticlimactic because it's like it's not like the first time you do a McTwist. You're like, I did a McTwist. This is the first time. Like I remember the day, the time, the temperature outside, who was standing on the deck. Like the first time I did a McTwist. For backside airs, it's like you're gonna do a whole bunch of them, and you're just like this repetition of doing them. But today, you guys both did your first backside airs that were like legit out the top backside airs, and then you'll look back and go, remember when we couldn't even do that? Like, because you're gonna be doing them 3 and 4 and
6
more.
months, I send you on Instagram, I'll go nice and high. Nice.
Yeah, nice and high, proper backside airs. But like today, it all started. So
Well, the funny thing is, I feel like every trick, I'll use like the street skater analogy. I feel like we just like barely learned how to ollie. Then we're like, sure, I could ollie the
hit the
5.
five,
Like,
yeah.
let's go real fast, and you could just do it. This is the only episode I've ever made of this. I think we're on episode 8 or 9 or something, where I felt like, oh, we learned it. You know what I mean? Other than rock to fakie and tail stall, because it's so like you say, anticlimactic. But all the other ones were like 2 hours of tries, 1 land. Wow! Okay, Andy told me I have to ask you what you learned to drop in on. Andy, the other Andy.
like what ramp?
He said if you don't know, ask him what he learned to drop in on.
So we built a driveway ramp like everybody did in 1986, and it was 8 foot wide and probably 9 feet high, 8 foot transitions with a foot of vert. We didn't know any better, and we didn't know what coping was. We hadn't graduated to PVC coping cut in half. That was the next ramp we built. But this ramp had like the threshold that you nail onto the kitchen floor where the carpet meets meets the kitchen, right? So this threshold had a nice round front, so it looked like coping for us. And then the back was just nails. But I had a skid plate, like a tail guard on my board. Didn't know it, but when I set that board up there, the edge of the tail guard caught underneath the edge of the threshold, stuff that we got. So I stood up there for the 15, 20 minutes, like, oh, I gotta do it. And finally I got the courage to go and just, and went straight over the front, wham, hit my head, and I looked up and my board was just hanging from the top, and it was just still stuck to the coping, all mangled out like that. So then we figured out, oh, take the tail guard off your board, and that's the first thing I ever dropped in on.
That's something like completely amazing about that story, because we're like really huge on getting brand new skaters into skateboarding. So there's a lot of people, I know you're sitting behind your computer screen on your phone or whatever right now that you have not started skateboarding yet. You need to start. But there's so many people that would have done that and it would have been their last day touching a board ever. And I just want to say, like, don't stop. Like, it doesn't matter. You might get hurt. You might go through a lot of mental, physical pain and stress, whatever.
You will, for sure. That's what skateboarding is. Like, and it'll teach you things later in life that have nothing to do with skateboarding, about perseverance and about self-motivation and discipline. Like, the lessons that I've learned in skateboarding, I take throughout my whole life and apply to my whole life. Everything I have in my life, there's because of skateboarding and lessons that skateboarding taught me. And it's lessons that, like, you really can't learn any other way. They're hard lessons, but you're only a failure if you don't get back up.
So get on the board, guys. We need everybody skating, and if you're skating, get somebody else skating, give it to a friend. If everybody got one person skating, we would double the amount of skaters on planet Earth right now. So a huge thanks to Andy. Thank you for coming out. A huge thanks to 187 Killer Pads and 888. We're gonna make a lot of rad videos with all of these guys, so stay tuned. Check out all those videos right there. Subscribe, like, leave a comment below, and you know what to do. Get a skateboard and start learning right now.